Welcome to today's Explainer. Listen, we're tackling one of the most universally frustrating and, let's be real, pretty gross household problems out there. Based on our source material, we're going to learn exactly how to flip this issue completely on its head. We are going to transform those irritating, slow-draining bathtubs into smooth-flowing, totally hassle-free systems. It is officially time to conquer the drain monster once and for all. Picture this, because we've all been there, right? You're in the middle of what's supposed to be a nice, relaxing shower. You look down, and suddenly you are standing ankle-deep in a pool of murky, soapy water. Ugh. It's a completely relatable, deeply annoying experience. And honestly, it really begs the question, why does this always seem to happen? Especially if you live in a house with multiple people, or if anyone in your family has long hair, it can feel like you're fighting a never-ending battle against your own plumbing. You clear it out, and then what? A few weeks later, the water is backing right up again. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our quick roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll look at the anatomy of a clog. Second, we'll cover the early signs of trouble. Third, we're going to build a blueprint for long-term prevention habits. And finally, we will go over the mistakes you should avoid. All right, first up, the anatomy of a clog, or what I like to call the hidden hair trap. So unlike a sudden pipe bursting out of nowhere, bathtub clogs happen gradually over weeks and months right under our feet. And our sources point out a concept that brilliantly illustrates exactly how this buildup starts, the hair trap effect. You see, most bathtub drains are perfectly designed to let water flow through quickly. But ironically, that exact same design creates physical catch points for loose strands of hair. And hair is by far the most common culprit for these slowdowns. When a drain catches those strands, it actually fundamentally changes its function. It literally morphs from being a clearer passageway for water into a physical collection point for debris. And once that hair gets caught, well, a fascinating, albeit slightly disgusting chemical and mechanical reaction occurs over time. Because it isn't just hair down there, right? Those trapped strands combine with everyday grime and sticky soap scum. As these elements mix together, they actually begin to harden and adhere tightly to the inner surfaces of your pipes. It forms this dense, restrictive mat that physically chokes the flow of water. This is exactly why a simple, innocent little hair tangle can turn into such a stubborn, solid mass. Moving right along to part 2, early signs of trouble and why catching it early is absolutely crucial. The ultimate key to beating that hardened mat is to stop it before it fully forms. The source material outlines 3 early warning signs you need to watch for. Number 1, water draining noticeably slower than usual. If the water's swirling just a bit more sluggishly, the mat is already forming. Number 2, gurgling sounds. That is literally the sound of air struggling to squeeze past a partial blockage. And number 3, water pulling around your feet even after the shower's off. Addressing these specific signs right away is so empowering because it stops the clog from compressing and getting pushed deeper down into the drain line where it's incredibly hard to reach. So, what's the game plan when you spot those early signs? Well, for a minor slowdown, just removing the visible hair at the drain opening and cleaning the strainer will usually get things flowing instantly. But if you're dealing with deeper accumulation, you really want to bypass the guessing games. A targeted drain hair removal tool, one that is specifically designed for bathtubs, is your best bet. It goes right in, grabs the physical mat, and pulls it out. You're safely dislodging the blockage without doing any accidental damage to the pipes themselves. All right, part 3, long-term prevention habits, the blueprint. Let's fix this for good. To stop these clogs before they even start, our sources recommend this highly effective, proactive 4-step routine. Step 1. Intercept the hair before it ever enters the drain by using a high-quality hair strainer. A mesh or dome-style cover works wonderfully for this, catching loose strands while still letting the water pass. Step 2. Clear that hair weekly, or honestly even more frequently if a lot of people are using that shower. Step 3. Routinely flush the drain with hot water. Actually, this step is brilliant because it actively melts and reduces that early soap scum buildup before it has a chance to harden. And finally, step 4. Do some gentle drain cleaning at the very first sign of a slowdown. Do not wait for a full-blown blockage. But here's the catch, or the crucial point really. Merely buying a hair strainer and tossing it over the drain is not enough. For long-term results, it is all about the maintenance. If you don't empty that strainer regularly, the strainer itself just becomes a brand new obstruction, causing the exact same pooling water you were trying to avoid in the first place. So making a quick check of the strainer part of your routine bathroom cleaning is hands down the absolute best way to ensure it actually keeps working for you. Finally, part 4, mistakes you should avoid. Basically, what not to do. When homeowners panic about a slow-moving drain, they so often make things worse. There is a stark contrast between a temporary illusion and a permanent fix here. A lot of people instinctively reach for aggressive chemical cleaners, right? But while those chemicals might temporarily dissolve a little bit of the soap scum, they introduce major safety concerns. And more importantly, they often completely fail to dissolve the main issue, which is the physical entanglement of the hair itself. On the flip side, mechanical removal directly targets the root cause. It physically yanks the hair out, making it a much safer, far more reliable solution for hair-based clogs that actually protects your pipes long-term. Oh, and another massive mistake is the tendency to just wait it out when you're dealing with recurring blockages. Listen, if you clear a clog and it comes right back a few weeks later, waiting it out is definitely not the answer. Repeated clogs are basically your plumbing's way of flashing a warning light, telling you that your current prevention plan needs an adjustment. Maybe you need to upgrade to a better hair strainer, maybe you need to tighten up your weekly cleaning schedule, or maybe you need to investigate whether a secondary blockage has formed deep down beneath the stopper assembly. I think this quote directly from our source material perfectly sums up our core takeaway today. The goal is to intercept hair early, reduce residue buildup, and address slow drains before they become full blockages. When your preventative steps are simple, practical, and consistent, bathtub clogs completely stop being a nightmare. They just become rare, easily manageable hiccups. Practical habits are absolutely the key to fewer plumbing emergencies. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to reconsider your daily bathroom routine. Is your drain currently functioning as a clear, flowing passageway? Or, without even realizing it, have you allowed it to become a hardened collection point? The power to change that dynamic is entirely in your hands, starting with your very next shower. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, here is to smooth, clear, and perfectly flowing drains from here on out.